CB Charles Demmings, communicator extraordinaire. EAGAN Minn. Almost 15 years ago, a group at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology began studying a fascinating question. Can you identify shared traits among great teams? Furthermore, could you take those insights and reverse engineer them for future teams? Researchers at the school explored industries such as banks, call centers, and hospital recovery wards. They equipped workers with electronic badges that collected real-time data on communication behavior such as tone of voice and body language.
Looking for a premium phone without the premium price? This renewed, unlocked iPhone 14 offers 128 gigabytes of storage, a sharp 6.1-inch display, and 5G capability for around $299. Want to get the best verified deal and see full details? Visit grabdeal.us/6 right now.
Advertisement: The Harvard Business Review published the results in 2012. Energy and engagement were the central takeaways. We now know that 35% of variation in a team's performance can be accounted for simply by the number of face-to-face exchanges among team members, the report read. We know as well that the most efficient work was done by high-energy, high-engagement teams. This seemed relevant this week when, following a Charles Demmings pass deflection in the red zone, all of the Minnesota Vikings players pointed and laughed. Demmings held his palm to the ground, a taunt to suggest that the receiver is too small. Even wide receivers coach Keenan McCardell smirked. The monotony of training camp makes joy in these moments almost a necessity. Before practice each day, he trots out to the TCO Performance Center practice fields and gives the cameras some words of wisdom. After conversations, he extends a hand and says something to the effect of, "Keep being a gift to the world." Even during down days, keeping the vibe positive matters. It has already earned Demmings praise from teammates such as veteran cornerback Byron Murphy Jr. Former coaches recall meetings with Demmings in which he would lay down freestyle bars over beats for several minutes. MIT's Human Dynamics Laboratory would describe him as a charismatic connector. "Relationships are what keep this kid going," said Marcus Trice, Demmings' defensive backs coach at John Horn High in Mesquite, Texas. For him, you have to have a culture that embraces real relationships. Demmings' positive reception in Minnesota has coincided with strong play. Through 7 training camp practices, few Vikings players have made more eye-popping plays. Last weekend, Demmings broke up a pass intended for superstar receiver Justin Jefferson, and he swatted away another directed at receiver Ty Felton on Wednesday. Advertisement: His lateral quickness is perhaps his most impressive on-field feature. The 6'1", 193-pounder starred in high school as a triple jumper. He clocked 4.41 seconds in the 40-yard dash at the NFL Scouting Combine despite soreness in his lower body. Those athletic characteristics are only relevant if the player also possesses the functionality to use those springs for what his position requires. The Vikings' recent history with drafting cornerbacks adds another layer to Demmings' loud introduction. In 2013, the team picked Xavier Rhodes in the first round. Rhodes became an All-Pro and a shutdown staple. Since then, though, Minnesota has cycled through the following names: Kendall James, Jabari Price, Tree Waynes, Mackenzie Alexander, Jack Tacho, Mike Hughes, Crease Boyd, Harrison Hand, Cam Dantzler, Jeff Gladney, Andrew Booth Jr., and Mekhi Blackmon. Kyrie Jackson's tragic death in the summer of 2024 halted a promising career far too early. Now, Demmings is offering another opportunity for hope. Chuck D is a very confident individual, Vikings defensive coordinator Brian Flores said. He's high energy, a great teammate, hard worker. In drills, you see him working his footwork and hand placement, and he tries to apply those things in the group setting. He's done a good job so far and has continued to improve. Trice, whose coaching path intersected with Demmings again at Stephen F. Austin, maintains there is still room for growth. 3 years ago, for example, Demmings found success at the position based on pure athleticism and feel. Later in his college career, he poured time into receiver tendencies, sharpening his schematic understanding. Based on how cornerbacks align, receivers release off the line of scrimmage with different techniques. Understanding the opposing receiver's propensity to move a certain way allows the corner to stay a step ahead, almost like a Major League Baseball hitter projects pitches in particular counts. Advertisement Demmings put considerable time and effort into improving this aspect of his game. This intentionality intrigued the Vikings to the degree that they sent defensive backs coach Gerald Alexander to Nacogdoches, Texas, for Demmings' pro day. The Vikings validated their interest by drafting him in the 5th round. "I am blessed with every breath to be in this position," Demmings said. "And I want to give a big shout-out to everyone who supports the Vikings, who is a part of the staff, the facility, the organization. Because Minnesota rosters Murphy and veterans Isaiah Rodgers and James Pierre, Demmings' immediate path to the field is not clear. At the very least, he has put himself in the conversation as a reliable depth option. In the meantime, he'll continue making an impact. Unlike members of MIT's study, Vikings employees do not wear badges sending signals to data collectors with insights on human communication. This is not necessary for a person such as Demmings. Watch him interact with anyone from afar, and the details of the conversation are irrelevant. Their reactions tell the entire story.